All right, here we are doing the same thing we do every week. Deer Pines chat. Just trying to relive those glory days. Cue the Bruce.
Cue the Bruce.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally. You are more. Cool. I mean, let's talk some Deer Pine stuff. I mean, it's been 5 years since our record came out. We're still friends. We still Zoom every week, apparently. Yeah, I mean, what are some things that you guys remember from recording the record or from writing these songs?
We recorded it live. It didn't sound like a Deer Pines parody. It was awesome.
That's true. That's true. One of my favorite things is the tambourine that shows up throughout the record.
We love the tambo.
We love the tambo because we were all like, I mean, definitely me, and I think you guys by extension, sort of still into the punk thing. Like we were the emo band that didn't twinkle as much. Like we were trying to do that stuff. So being like a little more rock and roll, like putting tambourine in the record was a little bit of a step for me. But I was like, you know what? Fuck, that sounds good.
You need it. You need that texture.
Yeah, we've done so many things where it's just guitar, drums, bass, and that's it. And it's like, there's more to music than just those two things. You got to have the layers, like you said, Joe. It's a music lasagna.
Well, that is something I appreciate about the record too, right? Is that we were a three-piece instrumentally, and we're often like the loudest band live, but also when you listen to the record, all the guitar parts are so well layered with each other. When you add in the acoustic and all the electric, and then you'll have like a little lead part over it, and just like all that together, just like the blend was so perfect, especially, in songs like Red Arrow, like those layers really shine so much there.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, that one took a lot of doing. I sort of, at least as a song, I had that first riff that really sort of like walky, slower
So good.
groove, which I was like, oh, Dan was born to play this kind of thing. He just plays that the whole time. And I'm like, oh yeah. But then the chorus comes in loud. I knew I wanted that soft, loud thing. I was really into like Sam I Am and Knapsack, the way they do that really soft, really loud thing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what that other part was going to be. So I just sort of like fishing around for it for a while, but it came together. Damn, that was the first song we ever wrote, was I Doing.
Yeah, that one was like, I thought that song was pretty crazy for like a brand new band's first single too. I really enjoyed that one. That one just had that other like nice groove to it. Would vibe out to that one.
Totally. Dan, talk about that floor tom for ever, actually. Please talk about it.
It in my head, it was one of those, oh man, I'm going to do this really awesome thing. It sounds awesome. And then I realized it was just, I ripped off an Owen song. So forget which one it is. Was it Everyone's Asleep in the House But Me? That last song on that album.
Oh yeah, on Ghost Town, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same beat and it was like I did that with Inside Joke too. I was like, oh, I came up with this awesome bass part. And then it ended up just being Peter Frampton.
Of all things.
Yeah, it was Peter Frampton. So
what song?
Dude, I remember that. It was it
What's the song Rhymes on My Face?
Future Children.
Songs.
Future Children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like dun 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 dun.
It was Do You Feel Like We Do, right?
Yeah. It's literally just note for note almost. I was just like, I knew it was a great bass part.
What's the crossover between our middle school band and Peter Frampton?
That's what I want to know.
Like who's gonna know?
Right.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a one-person Venn diagram.
Yeah.
The title track to me is like one of the least assuming. Like it's early on the record. It has palm mutes, which I like. There's not a lot of emo bands like doing palm mutes, especially at that time. They were just twinkling, like straight open chords the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck it, I like riffs. I like palm mutes.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with that chorus riff. The way the guitar plays, like,
Yes.
it plays octaves on the A and G strings, and the low E drones the whole time.
Yeah. That's really satisfying when you get like, right. That's kind of why, like, I was watching something about this. That's kind of why Van Halen riffs are so popular too, because you get that really big sound with those sympathetic strings, but then you get the pedal tone note in there. And that just does something in your brain that is just so satisfying when you get that pedal tone over whatever you're playing, you know?
Exactly. And that, for this song at least, was like, well, I'm the only guitarist, and I want to do like a moving line somewhere in the middle of the range.
Yeah.
And I want to hold it down on the bass notes so Joe can walk somewhere with it.
Yeah, you had a lot of work to do, right? Because like I needed to make sure the song was like moving, in that there was like a center point to it. So I tried not to explore too much, because then you would have to explore a little bit and sing at the same time.
Yeah, you'll see in the video it's very hard.
Yeah.
So, Joe, would you say you were skipping the song forward, or is that?
No, definitely walking it.
All right,
Close.
I have an important question for Dan.
Yeah.
Is the bridge part ska because of the upstrokes?
It's the bridge part ska. If I remembered how the song goes, I would answer that appropriately.
There's like open hi-hats, like
Oh, that one. No, it is not ska.
It's not ska.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
Time moves much in a way we can't anticipate its progress from day to day as we go on our way. Skipping like a stone on my once placid pond, with no choice now but to make waves, to make waves. What is ever enough? What is ever enough? I'm living like a dream in someone else's head, middle of the night when they wake up to find everything is different again. Everything is different. Never want to fully understand the gravity of a situation till I'm out of it, usually for the worse. What is ever enough? What is ever enough? What is ever enough? What is ever enough? someone else's head. The next one is Live There, which is actually the next track on the record as well.
That's the hit, apparently.
Look, that riff is easily top 5 riffs I've ever written.
It's a great riff.
It's funny, Joe, because that was taken, I think, from a jam Tyler and I did, and I didn't remember it at all, and I was there. And I did the same thing where I listened to the album. I was like, wait, I know that song. Crap, I don't remember doing that.
I'm pretty sure your voice is in there going, I don't know what to do or something.
Yes.
Somewhere in there, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know, let's just play it. Let's do it live.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said, because I was like, oh, I want to do the verse, the chorus, the this. And you were like, I'll figure it out.
That's pretty much how I roll.
It's true. You don't need to know much.
I don't know song names. I just know how they go.
Yeah.
Honestly, this dude, like, you could sit Dan down, I think, with any type of musician in any situation, and they would be like, oh, yeah, it's this chord, the 2 chord, the 5, the whatever. And he'd be like, I'll get it. And he really will. Like,
yeah.
You just got that sense for all different kinds of music, for what a song needs, what a song wants, you know?
Whatever makes it happy.
Like, truly, I never had to work to tell you, like, what to play. There was never a time where I was like, oh, Dan's really flubbing this. You'd look around for the perfect beat or the perfect feel, but you'd get there, like, usually right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we never really had to, like, pour over drum parts at all.
Ever.
No, it all just worked out really well. And they're all very emotive parts, too.
What So am I understanding you correctly that you had the music taste of a 40-year-old man when you were 9 years old?
Sounds about right, because at this point in time, I have like an 80-year-old. I'm an 80-year-old man stuck in a 30-year-old body. So
You just got roasted to
Yeah.
bits.
What are you listening to hand crank acoustic shellac 78s in your gramophone? What are you doing?
no, all I listen to is just Thomas Edison singing "Mary Had a Little Lamb."
The first recording.
I'm one of those like wax tubes.
Oh yeah, nothing but.
Incredible. That's incredible. Speaking of wax cylinders, the next one I played is Decay in Motion. Which
Excellent.
if you spin those cylinders fast enough, they will fly off and smash you in the head. That's Decay in Motion.
Yeah, that's my favorite song on the record, easily.
I love it, honestly.
Yeah, and right, we talked about this last week, but we poured over it. We shelved it for like a year. Couldn't figure it out.
Dude, at least a year, because like I was in a big
Yeah.
Lucero phase at that time. I was playing country chords, and like that's like an A minor type of chord in an interesting voicing. And I was like, is this too country? Can we do this?
And then, yeah, one day we had shelved it. We wrote the other songs, and then you started playing it, and then you just went to that F chord, and we were like, oh, there's the rest of the song.
The rest of the song just opened up like a book after that.
Why didn't we go to F the first time? So I remember I wanted that outro to like drone a little bit. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna like finger pick chords here, like on the bass, and just get it just like really just, get a really warm tone out of it and just kind of drive it a little bit.
That is what you did. I totally forgot. You were holding down the root notes and you had some other stuff like going on top.
Playing the extensions on top, and I think I was just finger picking all of it so it would just glue together real nice and just sound like really warm, because I didn't want the pick to like brighten it too much, right? I wanted more of that droniness to it.
this one for me, like the lyric came to me for the first more section, and I was like, oh yes, this is one of those lyrics. Like I'd been listening to The Promise Ring for a few years and really started to enjoy how much he gets into like 2 sentences in some songs. He just chocks it full and you're like, how did he do that? So in some ways, I can't be verbose anymore. Like I do 4 lines and I'm out. That's how I felt at the time, like coming out of college and everyone's comparing salaries and shit. And I'm just like, I'm doing what I love.
Yeah.
And that was really important to me to get across to people. Like, you don't need to be successful in order to be happy. Like there are different definitions of success.
Yeah.
And that was a major point. Like you don't need to fit into the binary gender to be happy. Like that just is not a real thing. Like you can be whoever you need to be. So that's what the More songs are about. And I was like really proud of being an emo band that actually had something to say rather than, well, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got to that point too, where we talked about that, where like, you know, the idea of emo was just becoming like, it was like beating a dead horse, right? Like, do we need another band singing about breakups or, you know, what have you? Like, no, there's greater things happening now that need to be addressed. And sonically speaking, I love how the record begins and ends with More 1 and then More 2 being acoustic. Like, I'm a sucker for continuity like that. I love that kind of shit. So so when you hear More 2 come in, you're like, oh yeah, they're bringing that back. Okay. And then you expand the idea with like 1 or 2 more lines. It's just perfect, but also in the stripped down version. So there's more to digest there. It's so great.
I was really proud of that.
Yeah.
You are more than a collection of numbers in a bank account or in a database somewhere. Yeah, you are more. You are more than someone else's opinion of your gender or where they want you to fit in. Yeah, you are more. You are more than the expectation of a certain role in your family situation. Yeah, you are more. Yeah, you are more than your parents' plans for you and all your judgmental school teachers, than your student loan debt, than drive-by harassment, jealousy, bigotry, and blind hatred. Yeah, you are more. Yeah, you are more. Now, I think this is as good a time as any to bring up those breakfast sandwiches we had one time on that weekend tour.
We totally should.
Dan should take the lead on this one.
The
Yeah,
one night
so-
weekend tour.
Yeah, we did a one-night show weekend tour in New York. I couldn't even tell you the town. The outside of it is a Tragwag album cover.
It
We
is.
had we went to a mac and cheese place that literally specialized in mac and cheese.
Oh yeah.
We decided not to go down to Baltimore to a show that wasn't promoted whatsoever. So we had breakfast sandwiches with these homemade bagels that were just delightful. Mine was a French toast bagel, so it had the syrup in it. and they were just egg sandwiches. They were just delicious. I
When it
think we
comes
played
to
a show.
food,
Yeah,
when
I
it
think we
comes to
played a
food,
show.
this guy's memory is second to none.
Yeah, I think we played a show that night. I don't remember. No, we played a show in a pirate ship. There was noise core, and that was my first experience with it. It was very loud and staticky, and I still don't know how I feel about it. And we also forgot cymbal stand, so all I had was a hi-hat. And it was a fun show. And that one punk guy who was drinking in the bar the whole time stayed for a few songs, and he dug us, and that was important.
That he
That
did.
one dude made it worth it, because I remember he liked it. He was vibing. So that one guy, shout out to him.
Live There got on like a playlist or two, and that one's really bumping up there in the plays, which is extremely gratifying. Like,
It is.
it's gratifying to make a great piece of art, and we all get to revisit it and remember the time that we spent, and that's what this video is about, honestly. But it is great to like click over the Spotify and be like, oh man, there's people listening to this stuff, like that song especially.
Man, the last show was an emotional one. That was it hit me really hard after that. And I don't know, I said this last week too, but that was a time that was really difficult for me. It was one of the lowest points of my life, but also this band was like one of the high points too. It just really kept me grounded, and I needed you guys a lot. And I just grew up so much in the short time period that we had. And I'm just glad that band became what it was. It was just really good moment of growth for me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, damn. And then there's one photo where you can see the whole crowd like up to the door.
Yeah.
I look at it and I go, what is this thing that we built? Like, it is so much bigger than all of us.
Yeah, so a lot of people came out for that.
It was so gratifying to be like, we worked so hard on this album, and we're putting this band to rest as a thing, and these people cared enough to come out and see it on New Year's Day.
Yeah, it was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
I miss you dudes, and I'd love to rock again soon.
I would love to do it again.
Yeah.
Miss you both. It doesn't feel like it's been 5 years, but it does at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, this year, yeah.
Yeah, this year felt like extended hell.
This year's been 4 years, and we wrote the album a year ago. So
yeah. What do you guys got coming in the future?
Cinema Stare LP2 is on the way.
Ooh, baby, yeah.
Yeah, we finally booked our studio time for it. So record's mostly written. Couple last minute things to work out. And it'll be coming out on No Sleep Records at some point next year. So
that rules.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got going?
I've got a baby coming.
Oh, baby, yeah. I planned that.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
It's very exciting. Finally get to justify my dad jokes.
This is out of the ordinary for me, because I like 99% of the time I'm ingesting anime. So
when you're cooking all the pepper there, it's the right thing to do.
Okay, in motion, take 3. This one fucking hurts the fingers.